You seriously think your wife puts up with you because of your cooking? The whole office cracked up. Leah laughed the hardest. She always did. Loud, unapologetic, head back like she was choking on the joke. But this time, as soon as the laughter stopped, her face dropped. Like someone had hit a switch behind her eyes. She looked at me. Straight on. Then away. Fast. Too fast. Sorry, she mumbled, grabbing her coffee. I forgot I had a call. She walked out of the break room without another word. That was the first time I noticed something was off. Not just weird behavior. Not just stress. Avoidance. The kind where someone used to give you a high five every Monday and now pretends they didn't see you in the hallway. It happened again the next day. I held the elevator door open. You riding up? No. I forgot something. She bolted before I could say a word. Third time, she pretended not to hear me. Fourth time, she literally switched conference rooms to avoid sitting near me during a client strategy brief. At first, I chalked it up to personal drama. Maybe a breakup. Maybe anxiety. Until I caught her looking at me again. Same look as the break room. Eyes full of something between guilt and panic. It was the way people look when they know a secret about you, one you haven't heard yet. That night, I told my wife about it. Leah's been acting weird. Like, aggressively avoiding me. Kayla shrugged. Maybe she's got a crush, she said, smiling as she poured wine. Or maybe she just realized how much of a pain in the ass you are. She kissed me on the cheek. Walked off. But something about that answer? Too easy. Too smooth. The way she smiled through it without asking a single follow-up question. It stuck with me. So did Leah's face when I said my wife's name earlier that morning. Kayla likes those rooftop places, I'd said. Leah smiled. Then went pale. Like the name was poison. Like it brought something back she didn't want me remembering. It happened on a Tuesday. I was finishing late. Most of the floor was empty. Just a few lights still on, printers quiet, doors half cracked. Leah's office was one of them. I dropped my laptop charger in the meeting room earlier, and hers was the closest outlet. She wasn't at her desk. Her bag was open, laptop still on, screen still lit. Not locked. Just dimmed, like she'd stepped out for a second. I knocked once. Nothing. Called her name. Silence. I stepped in to plug in, barely glanced at her screen. And that's when I saw the message. A text thread, half covered by an open browser. iMessage window still active. Unknown number. He still doesn't know it was her. I can't face him. Leah, you said she ended it. You promised. Unknown. Promise changed. She's still married. That's not my fault. I stared at it for a solid 10 seconds, heart hammering in a way that didn't make sense yet. Then her phone buzzed again. If he ever finds out, it'll destroy everything. Just keep quiet. It's not our mess anymore. Before I could even process, I heard footsteps. Hers. I unplugged, stepped back. She walked in, saw me near her desk, and froze. Hey, I said casually. Just needed a quick charge. You okay? Yeah, she said too quickly. Fine. Just working late. You left your laptop open. Shit, she mumbled. Thanks. She snapped it shut fast. Her face said more than she wanted. She wasn't scared I saw confidential work. She was scared I saw the conversation. I went back to my office, closed the door, opened my own phone, searched Kayla's contact, then scrolled through her recent texts. Nothing out of the ordinary. Then again, that number Leah was texting wasn't saved either. That night, I waited until Kayla fell asleep. Then I took her phone from the nightstand, walked it into the bathroom, sat down, and opened her messages. No thread with Leah. But there was a call in her recent log, 7 minutes, 3 days ago, to a number with the same last 4 digits as Leah's mystery thread. Unsaved. I copied the number, punched it into a reverse lookup site. First result, Leah's fiancé. Or ex-fiancé. Name, Dylan Connors. I kept scrolling. Found a folder in Kayla's gallery. Locked. Pin protected. I didn't try to guess yet. Not until I knew for sure what I was looking at. But now I had a few pieces. Kayla and Leah's ex had been in contact recently. Leah was panicked enough to hide messages at work. Someone said, he still doesn't know it was her. And that was my wife. I turned the shower on so Kayla wouldn't hear me pacing. Because I wasn't just suspicious anymore. I was certain. She wasn't just lying. She was still active. I waited until Friday. Everyone was distracted, quarter in madness, Managers scrambling, people clocking out mentally by noon. I caught Leah in the hallway just after she stepped out of the print room. Alone. Cornered. "We need to talk," I said. She tried to blow past me with a tight smile. "I'm slammed, Brian. Not a good time." "You're not slammed. You're scared." That stopped her. "Scared of what?" "Whatever the hell you've been hiding." She looked around, empty hallway, and sighed. "Not here." 10 minutes later, we were in the parking garage. Neutral ground. No one around. She leaned against her car, arms crossed. I didn't want to get involved. Too late. "It's not what you think." "Leah, cut the shit." She exhaled sharp through her nose. "It was your wife. Kayla. She hooked up with Dylan." "My Dylan." Silence. I didn't blink. "When?" "Started 6 months ago. Maybe longer." I didn't know at first. But I found the messages. Photos. Hotel confirmations. "And you didn't say anything?" I confronted Dylan. He denied it. Then he ghosted. 2 weeks later, Kayla shows up pretending she wants to talk to me about you. Says she wants to be sure you're okay. That you're not stressed. She was trying to see what I knew. So why avoid me? Because I thought she ended it after that. I didn't want to blow up your life for something that was over. Then I got those texts again. From Dylan. She opened her phone and showed me the same thread I saw earlier on her laptop. Same number. Same messages. He still doesn't know it was her. I can't face him. She's still married. That's not my fault. If he finds out, it'll destroy everything. He's still seeing her, she said. Or was. I don't even know anymore. He's gone dark. I stepped back. Part of me wanted to deny it. Look for a crack. A chance she got it wrong. But I knew Leah wasn't the type to lie like this. Not now. And everything she said tracked. The lies Kayla told. The timing. The phone log. So she used you as a cover? Leah nodded. Said she was with me on nights she met him. Said we were planning her surprise for your birthday. It was bullshit. I just didn't see it at the time. I stood there, letting the air press into my lungs, letting my jaw lock up to keep the heat from showing on my face. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Because I didn't want to be the one to destroy you. I looked her straight in the eye. You didn't. She already did. That night, I didn't come home right away. I parked 3 blocks away and sat in my car with the engine off, watching the lights in our living room blink through the window. She was there, inside, laughing at something on the TV, legs tucked under a blanket I bought her, looking like the kind of woman any man would kill to protect. But I wasn't going to protect her anymore. I was going to start with the truth. I didn't sleep that night. Didn't try. I sat in the spare room with my laptop open, pulling receipts, phone logs, travel routes, any digital trail that hadn't been scrubbed yet. Started with her old calendar entries. Kayla kept everything organized. Always had. I used to love that about her. No? It was a blueprint for her lies. 3 months back, she'd marked an overnight work trip. Said she was attending a networking mixer 2 cities over. I pulled up the hotel she said she stayed at. Searched the name. Called the front desk pretending to be from accounting. Can you confirm a room charge for Kayla Richards from April 12th? I'm sorry, we have no record of a Kayla Richards staying here that week. Called a second hotel. Nothing. Third call? We do have a reservation under A.K. Walker. Different last name. Can you confirm who checked in with her? That information's private, sir. Fair. But I'd heard enough. I opened our shared card statement. There was no charge from that hotel at all. But I did find an Uber from that address to a second location across town. An apartment complex. I cross-referenced it with an old email Leah showed me. Dylan's place. He hadn't moved. I traced 3 more work trips. Same pattern. Kayla leaves home, drives herself to the city, switches rides near a public hotel, and ends up at that apartment. One trip even matched the day she told me she'd gotten stuck in traffic and spent the night at Leah's. She lied to my face, used her coworker as a scapegoat, and spent the night in her fiancé's bed. Leah was just a distraction. A decoy. The perfect alibi. And Kayla knew she'd never speak up. I looked at my wife's texts again. Normal. Dry. Routine. Until I searched for deleted messages. Found backup records in the cloud. Buried in a synced folder she probably forgot I had access to. Inside? Screenshots. Dylan shirtless. Hotel confirmation emails sent from a burner Gmail. A selfie of her in bed. Our bed captioned. Enjoy the view. Yours for the weekend. She wasn't hiding a fling. She was building a story. A fake timeline. A clean version of her double life. One that used Leah, her job, and me as tools. She didn't just cheat. She ran an op. Leah texted me the next morning. He's gone. I asked what she meant. Dylan. New number. Deleted socials. His lease is empty. I checked. She wasn't exaggerating. Dylan had wiped himself out of every contact point she had. But not mine. Because 2 nights later, I got an email from a burner address. No greeting. Just a subject line. Tell her to stop messaging me. There was a screenshot attached. Kayla's text messages. Long strings of blue bubbles. You don't get to disappear like that. We agreed this was a temporary pause. I kept your name clean. Don't make me change that. That's when I realized. She didn't stop the affair. She got cut off. And now she was losing control. I called Leah again. She answered after the first ring. He's running scared, I said. Good. But he's not scared of me. No, she said. He's scared of her. Leah confessed everything else she hadn't said before. Kayla had shown up at her apartment once, uninvited. Said she needed to talk. Said if Leah ever went public about the affair, it would turn into something worse. She told me no one would believe me, Leah said. Said she'd spin it like I was jealous. That I had tried to sabotage her marriage. She threatened anything else? She didn't have to. Just the way she said it. It was like she'd rehearsed it. Like she'd done it before. I started watching Kayla more closely at home. She was sweet. Helpful. Almost too perfect. Folded laundry before I asked. Made my coffee exactly how I liked it. Told me she loved me 3 separate times in one day. You're quiet lately, she said one night. Just tired. From work. From pretending. Pretending what? That everything's normal. She didn't answer. Didn't press. Just leaned her head against my arm and stayed there, like silence meant I was still under her spell. But I wasn't. I was recording every word. Because the affair had technically ended. But the consequences were still moving. She was still trying to bury Leah. Still trying to manipulate me into compliance. Still pretending the story was hers to write. She hadn't lost control yet. But I was about to take it from her. And when I did, it wasn't going to be quiet. I wired 2 cameras into the house. Nothing fancy, 2 motion-triggered units disguised as chargers. One facing the living room, where we spent most evenings. One tucked into a speaker on the kitchen counter, pointed toward the island where she liked to stand when she talked. I wasn't trying to catch her cheating again. I was trying to catch her framing someone else. Kayla had a routine. She'd come home, pour a glass of wine, scroll through her phone like she was decompressing. Then, just when I wasn't looking, she'd record voice memos. Not to me. Not for her work. She was narrating something. I found one in her iCloud. Still tense around me. He's withdrawn, emotionally inconsistent. He's been snapping at coworkers. Leah says he's paranoid. I paused. Rewound. Leah says he's paranoid. She was building a narrative. One where I was the unstable one. She was setting a trap and using Leah as the supposed witness. The next night, I tested her. We sat on the couch, watching some throwaway reality show. Ran into Leah in the parking lot. I said. She asked if everything was okay between us. Kayla's head snapped. She what? Said you look distracted lately. Cool. She said that. You two don't talk much anymore. She forced a smile. I watched it break halfway through. We're fine. She's just weird since Dylan left. Unstable. So you don't talk? Not since she crossed a line. What line? Kayla hesitated. She accused me of lying about the affair. Said I made the whole thing up. She was improvising now. Fast. Why would she say that? Because she wants to make you hate me. She's bitter. She's trying to drive a wedge between us. I kept my face still. Let her keep spinning. Next morning, I checked the footage. Perfect audio. Full shot of her, wine glass in hand. Calm and calculated as she flipped the blame onto Leah again. I clipped the segment. Dated it. Filed it next to the voice memo, the call log, the burner account screenshots, and the hotel confirmations. I was building a folder. Not for me. Not for court. For her job. Her reputation. Her family. Her world. That same day, Leah sent me a text. I saw her today. She cornered me. We met that evening. Quiet diner. She had a bruise on her arm. She grabbed me. Outside the parking garage. Said if I talked to you again, She'd ruined both of us. What did you say? I told her I already did. She smirked, then looked down. But she didn't stop there. She slapped me. That changed everything. I wasn't just dealing with a cheating wife. I was dealing with a manipulator who hurt people to stay in control. She slapped Leah. Then it was time someone slapped back. It happened in the office lobby. Midday. Bright lighting. Just enough foot traffic to guarantee witnesses. Kayla didn't see it coming. She'd stormed in like she had business being there. I found out later she'd used my badge code to bypass security. She went straight to Leah. Didn't pull her aside. Didn't whisper. She made a scene. You don't talk to my husband again. You hear me? Leah turned. Calm. Not even rattled. You're not in charge of me. You're still trying to sabotage me. I should ruin you. Then, without warning, Kayla slapped her. Audible. Loud enough to silence two people near the elevators. Leah didn't scream. Didn't back away. Just stood there, blinking. That's when Jessica stepped in. Office manager. 6 years on the floor. No patience for drama. She got between them like a bouncer. Get your hands off my staff. Kayla tried to recover. She's trying to eat. No. You are. And now you just made it physical. Kayla tried to turn it on her. This doesn't concern you. Jessica didn't move. You think I didn't notice the hotel slips under your name? You think people don't talk? Kayla froze. Excuse me. We all knew about Dylan. We just didn't know how far you'd go to make her the villain. Someone else, Trevor, HR analyst, walked out of the elevator, saw Leah's red cheek, and asked, What happened? Jessica didn't hesitate. Kayla Richards just assaulted an employee in the lobby. Call security? Already did. I wasn't there. But I got the footage 30 minutes later from Leah. Lobby cam. Full audio. Everything. Slap. Silence. Jessica's voice cutting through like a judge with a sentence in hand. Kayla called me 4 hours later. Voicemail. Brian, they're blowing this out of proportion. It was a misunderstanding. I lost my temper. She was lying. She pushed me. I didn't even hit her that hard. You're going to defend her over me? I need you. I didn't reply. Instead, I attached the video to an email labeled, Statement of Behavior, Kayla R. I sent it to 3 people. HR at her office, her director, and her mother. She wanted to slap someone into silence? She got dragged into a spotlight instead. The slap should have been the final card. But it wasn't. The real hit came 3 days later, in the form of a shared Google Drive link, anonymous email, no subject line, no message body, just a link. I opened it on a VPN. Inside was a folder titled, If He Ever Talks, Backup Plan. 10 files. 1 voice memo, Kayla's voice, fake crying, saying I was controlling and starting to track her phone. 1 folder of screenshots, all out of context, her sending me a location, me asking, Why are you there? 1 edited video, chopped from a longer security cam at our house. Just me pacing with a drink in hand. A typed statement, and signed. Brian has become emotionally unstable and obsessive. I've told friends and coworkers. I'm afraid of what he might do. The final file? A draft email. Subject line. To HR and legal. Safety concerns and escalation protocol. It laid out a false narrative where I'd begun harassing a coworker, Leah. Not Kayla. Leah. Kayla's angle wasn't just damage control. She was building a preemptive strike. I printed everything. Took it straight to Leah. We sat in my truck outside her place, reviewing it file by file. Her hands shook halfway through. She was going to ruin both of us. She's still trying. How long has this been sitting in here? Timestamp says 2 months. Leah covered her face. Took a long breath. So the slap wasn't a mistake. No. It was supposed to bait you into reacting. Give her the last piece she needed. That night, I pulled the footage from my kitchen cam. 2 months earlier, Kayla had been on a call with Dylan. She didn't know the mic caught audio even when the motion detector hadn't kicked in yet. He's slipping. If he talks to Leah again, we file first. I'll use the mental health angle if I have to. And if HR asks questions, we've got the files. Just let me control the timing. They had it all laid out. The cheating was phase 1. The control was phase 2. The blackmail was the fallback. I wasn't just married to a cheater. I was tied to a calculated manipulator who was willing to destroy innocent people to keep her mask on. And now that she'd lost Dylan, she had no leverage, only desperation. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. Then I recorded one last conversation. "Why do you keep looking at me like that?" she asked, setting her bag down. "Like what? Like I'm dangerous?" "Because you are." "You don't mean that. You tried to ruin Leah's career. You were about to file a false claim against me." Her eyes narrowed. But she didn't deny it. She knew I'd seen it all. "You were going to bury us both to save face." "I was trying to survive," she said quietly. "You don't know what it's like to be cornered." "No," I said. "But I know what it's like to watch the woman I trusted plan a lie that ends 2 lives and call it survival." I walked out, closed the door behind me, and left the lights on for the camera. It started with a meeting request. I had my lawyer send it to Kayla's inbox. Formal, non-threatening. Subject, discussion, clarifying current household and personal boundaries. The kind of thing she'd see and think, "He's folding." She took the bait. Replied within 2 hours. "Let's be adults about this." I agreed to meet. We scheduled the sit-down for Saturday. Neutral ground. I chose a private conference suite at a co-working space, soundproofed, security camera at the entrance, keycard access. She didn't know it was booked under my lawyer's name. She walked in wearing white. White blouse, fitted pants, soft makeup. The reasonable woman look. Kayla sat across from me at the long conference table. My attorney, Elliot, greeted her calmly. "Pressed record. We're here to clarify your concerns," he said, "and to give you a chance to explain your version of recent events." "I just want things to be civil," she said, hands folded. "And safe." "Of course," Elliot said. "Let's begin with the email titled, 'If he ever talks, backup plan.'" Her face stayed still for half a second, then cracked. "I never sent that. I don't know what that is." "Your IP address did. Multiple login timestamps match your home Wi-Fi. The voice memo file came from your phone. We verified the metadata." Silence. "This is a setup. You were the one who brought a false harassment claim into draft form. You slapped a coworker on camera. And you attempted to stage a legal defense in anticipation of being exposed for adultery and retaliation." Kayla turned to me. "Is this really what you want?" "No," I said. "It's what you built." Elliot slid the folder across. "Here's a formal cease and desist for all communication with Leah Martin. Any continued action will result in immediate escalation." "To what?" "Civil suit for defamation. And if necessary, criminal harassment." "You think I'm scared of this?" "No," I said. "I think you're scared because the people who used to believe you now have receipts." She stormed out. Didn't slam the door. Didn't say goodbye. She knew there was no audience left to impress. That evening, I uploaded the documents. One to HR at her firm. One to our shared bank notifying them of a pending household separation. I changed all passwords. Froze the joint card. Monday, she called from a new number. Left a voicemail. "You didn't have to go nuclear. We could have fixed this." I didn't reply. Instead, I sent her a single screenshot, her own draft email, under the subject. "He's starting to ask questions." She never called again. Leah got her own apology from the company. An internal investigation was launched. Kayla was flagged for conduct review. She resigned 2 days later. No severance. What started as a joke in a break room ended in a surgical takedown of a liar who thought everyone would play dumb forever. But I didn't. The morning I left, she was already in the kitchen. No tears. Just coffee. Her routine on autopilot, like if she made enough toast and small talk, everything would reverse itself. "You want breakfast?" she asked, not even looking up. "No." "You sure?" "I'm packed." That made her pause. She turned around, arms crossed, still wearing the robe I bought her on our first anniversary. "You're really doing this?" "It's already done. We can talk." "We did." "You talked." I recorded. Her lip twitched. She hated that line. That I had proof. That the version of her that lied, cheated, slapped, and manipulated wasn't something she could erase anymore. "One mistake," she muttered. "You're going to throw it all away over one mistake." I dropped the keys on the counter. "House key. Car key. Storage unit. You slept with someone I knew. You lied about it for over a year. You tried to bury the only person you used as a shield. You staged legal blackmail. That's not a mistake. That's a strategy." I was protecting myself. From what? She didn't answer. Because the real answer was from being exposed. She stepped closer. Soft. Calculated. We could move past this. I still love you. You don't get to love someone and destroy them at the same time. She flinched like I hit her. So that's it? You're just done. I nodded. I already was. You just didn't notice. I walked out with one bag and a folder. Inside it, all the documents I didn't need to use. Yet, and the final court filing waiting for my signature. Divorce, no contest, no support. 2 weeks later, she sent one last text. If you ever change your mind, I'd still talk. I left it on read, then blocked her number. Leah's still around. We don't talk much about Kayla. There's nothing left to say. Sometimes, late after work, we'll grab a drink, sit in silence, and let the facts settle in. We weren't victims of love. We were targets of a cover story. And now, the story's over. She thought I'd scream, thought I'd fight, thought I'd chase. Instead, I let her watch me leave. And that's what broke her most.